I said to myself, he has some wonderful toys. And I wanted some, so I went out and got him. That's all I did. I got your club. I got your cuffs. I'm looking so good. So I'm not scared of you. If you want your toys back, come and get them.
Alright everybody, we are back on the channel to take a look at this Dusty Rhodes, baby. Maybe I'll have my buddy Mike come in at the beginning of this video. I think that's what we're gonna do, to come in and do a little tribute to the Dusty figure here. But guys and gals, let's get ready, strap in. We are here to review the Mattel WWE Ultimate Edition Target exclusive Legends Dusty Rhodes here in its packaging. He looks great, guys and gals. I can't wait to bust it open and take a look at this figure for you. But first, if you're familiar with our reviews, let's take a look at the packaging. All right, everybody, we are back to take a look at this packaging for this brand new Mattel WWE Ultimate Edition Target exclusive Legends Dusty Rhodes. Let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see, it's standard Mattel WWE Ultimate Edition packaging. You have Dusty on the side here, all the accessories on this side. You know how we don't like this. We want Dusty in the middle with all the accessories around him, but I digress. Dusty Rhodes on the top. They're doing the red style for the Legends Target exclusive stuff, which is cool. I don't mind that. I actually like the window. I like everything about this packaging other than where the figure is placed with its accessories. So I don't want to go belabor on this, but again, standard packaging, Ultimate Edition, Mattel. There's a beautiful picture of Dusty on the side here and his polka dots, WWE Legends, Ultimate Edition on top, Rhodes. You got the legalese here, you got the Legends logo here, Dusty Rhodes. This is a pretty cool photo. I actually like this photo, guys and gals. I thought this was pretty cool. I believe this is when he fought the Big Boss Man. Hard times, baby, hard times. You got Dusty Rhodes here. You got a beautiful in-ring shot. Again, they're cleaning these up. They aren't as grainy as they were in the past, so I like that. This does have a sticker over it. So what I may do is I may end up taking the sticker off because it says, this is between Austin, Texas, Bionic Elbow. I believe this says probably WWE or WCW World Heavyweight Champion when he was neither, so he was a World Heavyweight Champion. It's interesting to see what's under there, and maybe what we'll do is before we end this video, we will take that sticker off and see what it does say. You have your bio, and then you have your copy here if you want to read, guys and gals. There you go, and then again for the barcode if you need to find this in the wild. There you go. But forget about the packaging. Let's get Dusty out of this prison and bust it open. So really quickly, as we expected, NWA World Champion under the sticker, guys and gals. Yes, you cannot use NWA because that is owned by Billy Corgan. So they had a sticker over it, but that's cool. That's fun to know that it's there. Yeah, so there you go. That's what was under the sticker, guys and gals. All right, everybody, we are back and we busted this Dusty Rhodes open. Now I don't have a beard anymore because I recorded the packaging earlier to just to get familiar with the figure. Okay, so we don't do anything. We just take them out of the packaging. We kind of play around with them, see how they are, and then we, boom, come here and we review these figures for you. So this is Dusty Rhodes and everything he comes with. This figure is really loaded. This is one of the reasons we love Mattel WWE Ultimate Edition figures. They are just jam-packed with a lot of goodies, a lot of accessories, a lot of callbacks as well, especially the Legends figures, which we love. So what we're going to do is we're going to get Dusty out of the frame right now, and then we're going to flip this camera right around and review some of the accessories for you all. Stay tuned. All right, everybody, we got Dusty out of the way. What we like to do here first is on the channel is go over the hands. You know you're going to get a lot of hands with Mattel WWE product, and we got a lot of them here. We got open hands here, so we got two of these, right and left, for Dusty. So if you want him dancing around, you can find him dancing around. This right hand has the tape on the actual fingers. I like that. That's an added touch. The tape looks to be molded on too, not painted on. I could be wrong about that. Comment below. I do see a little bit of paint. I don't know. Could be molded. You have pointy pointy finger hands here as well for Dusty. If he wants it, you want him to point at his foes like that big boss man. And then you got another one here, the right hand. Again, it is all taped up like it should be for Dusty. So basic, just basic stuff here. And then you're gonna get 2 fist hands as well. Again, you get the taped one, and you get the left, which is just a regular fist hand right there with the veins and such. So those are all the hands that the figure comes with, guys and gals. Comment below, do you think we get too much hands for these figures? Not enough hands? I mean, I have a bag of hands that I don't even use. I know it's good for like customizing, I guess, and or if you were doing figure photography and stuff, but for my display, I don't use all these hands. Comment below, do you think Mattel should keep giving us all these hands or kind of put the costs elsewhere? Let me know in the comments below. Next, we'll move on to some of the accessories. Some of the accessories here are from when Dusty feuded with the Big Boss Man. So you are going to get a nightstick here, a nice inclusion here. I don't think it was completely necessary with this figure, but I guess they wanted to throw it in there. I don't know. Okay, it's a nice stick, basic, no paint. Yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm not sure if I would ever pose him with that. I know that he's got also here the policeman hat. Just let me get in front. Oh, here's the policeman hat for the Big Boss Man as well. So he wore this. It's nice. It's a hat. It's got some, you know, it's got the little kind of, I don't know what that is, lapel or something there, or button. I don't know. I don't think I'm ever going to use this for him. I mean, he looks cool with it on, but not for me. But it was cool. A nice inclusion there. So we got the hat. We do have the headband now. The headband, obviously, we're going to use. I mean, this is quintessential Dusty Rhodes. We're getting down to the main gear now. We got the headband there. Polka dot headband. And then you have the polka dot shirt, which we are also going to use, obviously, because Dusty wore a polka dot shirt in his stint with the WWE or WWF at the time. Now, we get to some face sculpts or head sculpts, portraits. Let's start with this one because I am personally not a fan of this one. I still don't think they've nailed his likeness on these open mouth sculpts. It just doesn't look like Dusty to me, guys. Comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Not that it's a bad sculpt by any means, but it just looks odd, guys. I personally would never, ever display Dusty with this sculpt. Now, his sculpts in the past have been notoriously bad too, and when we get to comparisons, you'll see that as well. I just can't nail the likeness. I don't understand why. This one is much improved. I actually do like this facial sculpt. I will probably end up using this one. This is kind of like the common man dancing around the ring. I do like the width of the face. I think, in all honesty, this is probably the most realistic Dusty sculpt we've got with a Dusty Rhodes figure to date. Comment below, let me know your thoughts. Basic hair, kind of white, kind of blondish hair there, but I'm probably going to use this facial sculpt. This portrait looks really great. This is the one I'm going to go for. And guys and gals, that's about it. Those are the accessories for this Mattel WWE Ultimate Edition Legends Target exclusive Dusty Rhodes. Let's get into the head-to-toe look at the figure. All right, everybody, we are back. We got all those accessories out of the way. Now we're going to take a head-to-toe look at this Dusty Rhodes figure. And we'll start with the head. Now, guys and gals, this head is a little bit loose. You can see that it is loose up and down. I'm not a fan of this, again, this sculpt. Again, I just don't think it looks like Dusty, guys. Comment below, guys, why do you think it's so difficult to get a life-like sculpt of this figure? It just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, he is like, they just can't get it right. And I don't like the fact that my head's a little wobbly. It's not as bad on this figure because the head and the neck kind of are, there's not a lot of movement. So when you go up and down, that's all you're getting, right? Side to side. It goes all around. Again, we don't, actually doesn't. It does, yeah, you know, but his chin and face are so big that you know, the wobble head really doesn't make a difference. Now, on some of the newer stuff that's released, like the Luger, the wobble head is gone. So I think they're making corrections, but man, it's been a long while, guys. With that said, you know, he's going to have standard Mattel WWE Ultimate Edition articulation. He's got the butterfly joints here. He's got the double jointed elbows here. You know, he's got the painted on wrist tape. Again, I wish they would go molded for that. But yeah, he's got a lot of flexibility, guys. I mean, you know, you're going to have the torso crunch here, which doesn't get you a lot. Goes back like that, front like that. You're going to get the swivel at the waist. Obviously, you get the drop down at the hip here. You got swivel at the hip as well. Double jointed knees and elbows here. Basic kind of attire, the polka dot attire as it goes around all the way here. I do love the inclusion of the birthmark here. I think they did a wonderful job depicting it. It looks a lot more real than it previously did. So I do like that inclusion there. He comes with obviously the quintessential elbow pad on this arm too. And then again, as I was saying, double jointed knees and elbows. I love his boots. His boots are extremely detailed. I love that they did them in the yellow there, old school Hasbro style. And we'll get into that in comparisons. You could see the eagle on there and everything as well. So all in all, I mean, you know, you're going to get I mean, gosh, he can even do the splits. You're going to get an amazing round, even with the drop down here articulation out of this figure. I mean, Dusty wasn't known to do that crazy stuff. So, I mean, with that said, I think, you know, the articulation here is not really needed. But again, it is much appreciated as it is standard with all Mattel WWE Ultimate Edition figures. With all that said, that's a pretty much headed to look at the figure. I have no problems with the articulation. I think the body and the proportions are great. I think that they nailed the body and proportions of this figure. Previous versions were not as good as this one. So I really like this body mold. I love this style. But again, those head sculpts aren't 100%. However, I do think this is the best Dusty Rhodes figure we've got from Mattel and the WWE probably ever. With that said, but we'll get a little bit into that in comparisons. So let's take a look at how this compares to some other lines and some of the figures of Dusty in the past, and we'll see you now on the flip side. All right, everybody, we are back, and this is the comparison portion of our review. Let's get some Mattel WWE in here to compare so we can show you kind of how they compare against each other. We got actually a Rick Steiner right here next to Dusty. So this is, you know, again, a newer Mattel WWE Ultimate Edition figure. And again, kind of from the same era. I think these look great together. I mean, again, this is what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to pair these figures with current Mattel WWE Ultimate Editions and Elites. I think they'll look great. Here is the Scott Steiner. Sorry, guys, let me get Scotty Boy to stand here. If he can stand. The trials and tribulations of the wrestling figure world, and not only that, but the action figure world. So there you go. There's, you know, Scott Steiner next to Dusty in all their glory there. So that's two newer WWE Ultimate Edition figures. We also have an Elite here. This is out of the Legends line. This is our Elite Ravishing Rick Rude from WCW with that new WCW World Championship belt, so you have a little idea of how Dusty compares next to Rick right there. Really nice comparison there. All right, everybody, and we have Dusty next to Mach right there. That's the Elite Macho Man Randy Savage. So there's Dusty next to Mach. We've got Dusty next to the Huckster here. That is the 2000s Elite Hulk Hogan. This is not the new Ultimate Edition coming out. That's a solid figure though, guys. I mean, I love that Ultimate Edition coming out, but this is a great figure as well. So there he is next to Hogan, and we have him next to also here. This is a good comparison. I really like this one. I brought out my woo, that ain't ya boy, Ric Flair. Right there, that's an old school Ultimate Edition. We haven't seen one of those in a while, so I figured I'd bring them out for you guys. And last but not least, here we got that Yeet Man Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso next to Dusty. I think we say yeet. I bet you Dusty would be eating all day long. So those are some of the Mattel WWE figures that I had to show you with this Dusty. Let's flip it around, and we're going to get some other comparisons in from some other brands right now. All right, everybody, and next we have, I love this figure. It's one of my favorite new figures. This is a 1/12 collective style figure from Muff Toys. This is the Protector of Metropolis. You got your Clark Kent right there next to Dusty. I love that right there. Superman. This figure is awesome, guys. I can't wait to review this. This is next up on one of the next ones up on the docket for y'all, including this one as well. If you like 112 collective stuff from Mezco and that style figure, here is Major Todd. Now a little smaller, as you can see, next to these Mattel WWE Ultimate Editions, but there you go. That's a Mezco figure right there. Indiana Jones figure for you. You didn't know who that was. And then we also have, why not? Let's bring in another higher end figure, the Mafex Star Wars Luke Skywalker. In the middle, again, super big. These Ultimate Editions are huge. These Mattel WWE figures are huge compared to import figures and a lot of the other lines, especially Hasbro's. Now, I'm not going to bring a Hasbro figure in right now, but I am going to bring in this NECA Doc Brown to show you that, again, leaning more towards that larger end of figure, right? I mean, you're looking at a 7 to 8 inch figure here. You're looking at probably closer to a 7-inch figure here. So there you go. That's Doc Brown. And then we have also just another larger figure for y'all right next to here. This is the Super 7 Ultimates Rat King, and as you can see, he can barely fit on that screen right there. I'm just going to move this up slightly, but you can get an idea of what these Mattel WWE figures look next to larger figures in comparison. So we got that Rat King right there. And guys, it wouldn't be a stream if we didn't put a McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse in here. Come on now. Well, we had the Riddler for a while. I mean, sorry, we had the we had the Riddler for a while. We had the Mr. Freeze for a while. Now we got Hush 96 Batman. Going back to the 90s. I'm sorry, not Hush 96 Batman, guys. Spawn 96 Spawn Batman right here as well next to that Dusty. And we will see you on the flip side for our progressions. All right, everybody, before we get to progressions, I did want to show you actually this Dusty next to some other figures. I just got this big boss man in, so you can see scale-wise how they compare. I like this pairing. I would love not to have a black card. Unfortunately, I got a black card. I know it's not unfortunate, but for the purposes of me displaying the boss man, I do have actually a black card boss man LJN on display, so this is good, but like I need one loose, so I'm like anyway, so there is the boss man. That is the black card Coliseum collection that was just released by Mattel. I have an earlier boss man as well we're going to take a look at next. All right, everybody, we have the Elite, the Mattel WWE Elite Series 14 boss man, the first time in the line, again next to this Dusty, again from the similar era. They basically just reused the nightstick from this figure and from the previous boss man release. So this is more of a heel boss man figure next to Dusty. It looks like the newer boss man figure from the Coliseum collection is a little larger than this one, but again, for the purposes of my collection, these old school ones, if I like them, don't come out of the box. They are mint on card for life. So here's a little idea of how that Dusty would look next to the Elite Series 14. Tell WWE Elite Series 14 boss. And here is Dusty next to Dusty. So we have the American Dream next to the American Dream. Now, for the most part, it looks like this figure was complete reuse from this figure, at least from the torso down. The waist down, I should say, and you know, the arms obviously are different, the heads are different, the torso is different, but again, you're getting basically a re-release. I think you could probably just pop this head off, get 2 of these Dusties, and you know, you're good to go. I mean, you know, like if you were to pop the torsos off and stuff, I think you could probably do some swapping here if you wanted a real American Dream kind of WCW version of Dusty Rhodes, NWA version right there. I mean, I don't think it's necessary because you have the shirt over him. So maybe just even, I don't even know. I don't even think you need, if you were looking for the extra articulation in the arms maybe, but this is a solid figure, guys. I mean, I think these look great because again, they're wearing shirts. So you're not going to really do much with that articulation there. And from the waist down, they look to be the same figure to me, just painted color, you know, differently. The colors are painted differently. So again, let me know in the comments below, what do you think? We're going to get now into progressions on the other side, and we'll see you then. All right, everybody, we're in progressions, and I love this. This is one of my favorite parts of our figure reviews here at Here to Collect. I love seeing like the progressions throughout time of how the figures have changed, and we're lucky to have a lot of these Dusty Rhodes figures in our collection and in our possession. So here we go. We're starting with my childhood Dusty Hasbro. You can see it's still a little beat up, not that bad though. I took care of my stuff, guys. So you know, he's a little wobbly. He doesn't have anything clicking, but you know, this is my original one from when I was a kid. I kept him in pretty good condition. I was fortunate enough. Love this Hasbro Dusty. So this was kind of obviously the original, right? I mean, you're basing this figure kind of off the original here. The only thing different is the yellow knee pads, which the classic Superstars version actually gave you the regular just yellow knee pads. It gave you the nightstick on that moment with the Boss Man as well. Here's the this wasn't exclusive too. The classic Superstars exclusive. I think it was like a 1 of 3,000 or something like that. I did open mine. I figured I might as well. I have so many of these guys. I don't want to bend the arms down just because they're notorious to break off, especially on older classic Superstars. So we're just going to kind of keep as is. But there you go. There's the Dusty for the classic Superstars version, and then we have the newer version. I did want to show you in comparison the previous Elite version, which is the Legends, to this Dusty as well. A lot of similarities. Again, the facial sculpts are different. You're going to have different articulations in the arms. But again, from the waist down, looks to be almost the same. Obviously, the legs are a little bit different. The boots look to be a little different, even in the color and stuff. But really fun to see the progressions here of the two figures. Not much difference, though. You know, again, your different head sculpt, different bandana. The soft goods have improved. Obviously, you can see these were almost like these kind of polka dots were not printed on. Almost like it looks like some sort of adhesive that they used on them. So yeah, this is kind of where we're at with Dusty Rhodes now. What do you guys think? Do you think they nailed it? Do you think this is the best Dusty figure we've ever got in the polka dot gear? Comment below. But this is the progressions, and we hope you enjoy taking a look at throughout time, you know, what figure companies, how they've evolved and how these figures have evolved as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to move everything out of the way, and we're going to get into final thoughts right after this. All right, everybody, we are back and we are in final thoughts. Yeah, guys and gals, I have to say one thing. Mattel WWE design team, hats off. I mean, I got to give you guys a hats off because this figure, minus the wobble head, is incredible. I really think it is the best polka dot version of Dusty Rhodes we've got to date. I believe this is probably the best Dusty Rhodes head sculpt to date as well. I love the inclusion of the hands for the dances and stuff, and the multiple accessories, especially the nightstick and the police cap and stuff to kind of depict that boss man feud and everything. So I really, really, really enjoyed this release. I really think that I don't need another Dusty Rhodes figure ever in this attire ever again. I just think we're good. We're good to go. What do you guys and gals think? Let me know in the comments below, because are you adding this to collection? Did you hold off on it? I know a lot were out there. I know there's a packaging variant. What do you guys think about it? I mean, not really a packaging variant, but a running change. It's got him as the NWA heavyweight champion on some of those packages with the sticker. What do you guys think below? Do you think this is your definitive Dusty? Let me know. Comment below. But we really love it. It's a hats off. I mean, we're not going to score or anything like that. We don't do that on this channel, but we do recommend you guys picking this up for your collection. We think it's the best Dusty Rhodes polka dot version ever. And thanks to Mattel WWE for making this happen. With all this said, thank you so much, guys and gals, for joining us for another tour review. I'm your host, SQD Will. We are here to collect, and we know you are too. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. As we like to say here, also follow us on Instagram and on Whatnot. You can follow us on Instagram at Here to Collect CC and on Whatnot at Here to Collect SQD. With all that said, guys and gals, don't forget, we want you to come back into the studio and join us for the next toy. Motherfucking bastard. With all that said, guys and gals, we want you to come back to the Here to Collect studio and join us for our next toy review.